Hey guys, it's Ivory. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm just doing a get ready with me. I'm not really going anywhere, but I just wanted to sit down and play with some makeup and just talk to you guys. This is not a tutorial. Don't follow this. I have no idea if this is gonna be good. I have no set look. I'm winging it. Before we get into the video, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I post new videos every Wednesday and post occasional bonus videos throughout the week. When I was figuring out what type of video I should make, I was like, okay, maybe I should do like facts about me, but I was like, I don't know, it's been done. So I wanted to make this kind of like a story time. So I might break this up depending on if people respond well to this. Maybe I'll do one where I just talk about my dogs, or one where I just talk about, past relationships, and one where I just talk about, the categories could go on. But I thought this one would be just about me, so I wanted to do a twist on this. So I decided I would have this one be a confessions. A lot of my friends refer to the things I say as Ivory moments, simply because the things that I say and blurt out without thinking are often things that no one else in our friend group would say. It would only come from me. So these are the best of Ivory moments. When I was first dating my husband, mind you, I was around 17, 18 at the time, and he was 20. I was hanging out at his condo and he cooked for me, and he was boiling some fettuccine. And after the timer went off, he was like, okay, I have to, check if the noodles are ready. And I was like, how do you know if pasta is done? Mind you, I lived at home still and I didn't have to cook yet, so I didn't know how to cook. And also, I come from an Asian household, so we don't make pasta. If you have an Asian household, you know that the noodles are like rice noodles. You put them in the water for 30 seconds. You don't even have to test them. They just are ready to go. He thought I was joking around. So he answers and says, you put chemicals on them. And I was like, what kind of chemicals on them? And he wouldn't answer me. He was just like doing stuff with the noodles, I forget. And then I kept asking him, like, what do you do with the noodles? Like, what kind of chemicals are you gonna use? And then after like 10 seconds, he was like, oh my God, Ivory, you just taste it and see if you like it. I didn't know. To this day, he still talks about it and he laughs every single time because he can't believe that I really thought you put chemicals on pasta to check if it's ready. One time, me and my husband were in bed just talking. I said something about wanting to visit Washington to see the cherry blossoms. He was like, oh yeah, he's half paying attention. He doesn't really listen to me. I was talking about, oh yeah, it'd be cool to see the White House, blah, blah, blah. And then I said something about going to the Amazon headquarters. And he was like, wait, where do you think Washington, D.C. is, like on a map? And I was like, top left. And he's like, no, that is Washington, the state. It is not where Washington, D.C. is. Mind you, this happened like 2 months ago. So for my entire life, I was under the impression that Washington, D.C. was in Washington. Apparently, this is something that people learned when they were in grade school. I don't think I learned it. I was really confused because he was like, well, what did you think the D.C. stand for? And I was like, I thought it was a city like Chicago, Illinois. He's like, okay, first of all, the D.C. comes after, so you don't say Illinois, Chicago. And secondly, how do you not know this? It never came up again. I mean, I've lived 25 years of my life without knowing that Washington, D.C. is not in Washington. So my family has a history of family allergies. Luckily, I did not get that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have 2 dogs. One of my biggest fears is the day that me and my husband decide to have kids. My kid is going to be allergic to my dogs, and I'm going to have to give my kid to the fire station or something, because obviously my dogs were there first. So this is one of the reasons why I'm freaking out about having kids, because I'm avoiding that situation. I feel like at this point I would pick my dogs just because they were there first. We have a history. I don't know nothing about that baby yet. As you can tell, I love dogs over people. Last year at work, in the summer, they had a horse racetrack event. So me and all my other coworkers went to celebrate the end of summer, basically. So at a horse racetrack, you wear a fancy dress and the big floppy hat. So I had a nice dress on. It was tight around my torso and it flared out. I always wear shorts with my dress because, you know, precaution. In this case, for whatever reason, I forgot to wear shorts under my dress. And I even said to my coworker, I said, dang it, I forgot to wear shorts today. And she's like, I'm sure it'll be fine. It's like nothing's ever happened to you. But little did she know, 5 minutes after that conversation, we were out in the balcony and they were like, Ivory, come out, we're taking pictures. I opened that door and my dress goes up. I mean, just completely up, to the point where my coworker said that she couldn't even see my face because my dress went up that high. And then the worst part about that is, that's the worst part, I was wearing nude colored panties that day. So when my dress went up, it just looked smooth, like Barbie. Like any other color underwear would have been fine, but I chose that color. Sometimes at night I lay in bed and I just think about things that have happened in my life, and that memory comes up and it like re-traumatizes me. Another time while I was at work, we were all having lunch together and the topic of pickles came up. I said something along the lines of, I don't like pickles, but I like cucumbers. They were like, well, you know, they're basically the same thing, blah, blah, blah. And then that's when I took a step back and I was like, wait, are cucumbers pickles? And my face, I mean, I looked mind blown, I'm sure. Okay, first of all, I don't like pickles. I don't like the smell, so I didn't know. All my life, up until like 4 months ago, I thought a pickle was born a pickle and a cucumber was born a cucumber. I didn't know that pickling was a process on the cucumber. They're probably gonna watch this video together and laugh at me. Okay, this is probably the worst nose contour I think I've ever freaking done. I mean, does it not look like poo-poo? When I was in 8th grade, there was this boy who liked me and he wanted to ask me out, and we had 3 classes together. So he decided he wanted to ask me out to a dance. So at the beginning of our English class, he decides that he's gonna ask me, and we sat like kind of next to each other too. So it was really awkward, and there were people around watching this. So he's like, Ivory, will you go to the dance with me? And I was like, I'm not going to the dance. And this boy that was sitting across from him that was watching, when he said that, he was like, still remember it to this day because it was so embarrassing for both that guy and for me to be part of this awkward interaction. So then after I say I'm not going to the dance, he's like, okay, well then will you just go out with me? I didn't want to say no, even though I wasn't digging it. I couldn't say it in front of everybody because I didn't want things to get awkward. So I just said, can I think about it? And he said, okay. And then he just like looks away, even though we're sitting next to each other. Like, why didn't he ask the last 5 minutes of the class? So for like the 55 remaining minutes of the class, we just had to like not talk because it was super awkward. A week later, he asked me out again, and I say the same thing. I say I need to think about it, and he's like, I already gave you a week. And I was like, oh yeah, I just need more time. After that, he never asked me again, and we never talked about it. When I was a freshman in high school, there's this boy in my typewriting keyboarding class, and we sat next to each other, and he had his driver's license, and he was like, if you want, I can take you home. And I was like, okay, cool. Of course I didn't tell my mother. So every day he would drive me home and we would just talk. It was totally innocent. So that was that. And then one day on a Saturday, I'm watching Shall We Dance, the one with J-Lo. It's like 10 o'clock at night and my mom comes upstairs and she's like, someone's at the door for you. And I'm like, what? So I go downstairs and it's the guy, and I'm like, what the heck? And he says, I just came by to ask you if I could have your phone number. Like, you couldn't ask me in class. Like, you had to come at 10 o'clock at night to my house in front of my family. It was so awkward. I didn't want to make the situation worse. I just wanted him to leave. So I just said, okay. So I give him my number and my mom is right there and she goes, how do you know where Ivory lives? And I'm hoping that he doesn't say that he's been giving me rides, but he's clueless. So of course he's like, oh, I've been giving her a ride for the past 2 weeks. And my mom's like, oh. And I'm like, oh my god. He leaves and I go back upstairs. For whatever reason, this idiot decides to keep honking his horn outside and he will not go away. So I open the blinds and I'm kind of just like, what are you doing? And then he drives away. So that was that. And then my mom scolded me, said I'm not allowed to get rides from him. And I'm like, all right, well, don't worry, because I want nothing to do with that guy anymore. The next day he calls me and he's like, oh, I hope you didn't get in trouble. But I switched seats in class after that. I have no idea why I would pick pink as my transition shade when I have no idea what look I'm going for. Sometimes you kind of just lay down the path without knowing where it's going, and you just hope for the best. Sometimes when I'm feeling really lazy, I'm always feeling lazy, but I digress. If I want a glass of water and I don't feel like getting up to go get it, I'll call for my husband, and when he responds to it, I won't answer so that he has to come to me. And then by the time he comes to me, he's like, what? And I'm like, can you go get me a glass of water, please? So it'll usually go something like this. Babe! What? What? Can you get me a glass of water? You're closer to the kitchen than I am. Yeah, but you're already up, so you might as well just go get it for me. It's a good thing he doesn't ever watch my videos, so I know he's not gonna catch on. Every week when I put up a new video, my husband literally just clicks on the video, puts it on mute, and lets it run, and then he likes it. Kind of wish I was going somewhere with this look, because it turned out kind of bomb. Maybe I'll go to Petco later. Do you ever feel like one eye is like cooperative and then the other one just doesn't want nothing to do with you? Like for me, it's this eye. Like this eye looks really good to me, and then this one, for whatever reason, it doesn't flare out or blend. It just wants to be that rebellious daughter that doesn't want to listen to you. Honestly, from starting my channel, I'm just having so much fun doing things that are like out of the box. Like I never would have thought to do a colorful look. I didn't think anyone would ever ask me that. I also didn't expect to get people that I don't even know to like me enough to subscribe to this channel and want to watch me every week and like talk to me. Like it's so rewarding. Like I don't know, the people that are sub to me that have channels, like, are you not having so much fun doing this? Because I'm having a blast. I told my husband months ago that I wanted to start a beauty channel just because I love makeup so much. But I felt like the competition was so steep. I mean, there are a lot of beauty channels out there, and you know, the community is always top heavy. So I felt like maybe it's already too late. If I had thought and actually did something about this like 3 years ago, maybe I would have had a chance, but now it's too late. Like it's already established. The top people will always stay the top people. And maybe that's true still. Maybe those people will still always get the most views and get the most subscribers and get the most popularity. But when I was going back and forth about whether I should do this, my husband just said, who cares about who's gonna watch you? If it's something that you think you're gonna have fun doing and you enjoy it, then that should be enough satisfaction. And I was like, I don't know why it's not as simple as that for me. Like, why couldn't I think like that? And he was so right. When I first started this channel, I had, and I still don't have, large expectations, but sitting down and just doing makeup and watching, you know, all these small YouTubers that I had never even heard of talk to me and watching their styles and their editing, I'm just really enjoying the entire process of this. My only regret is that I didn't start sooner. So for the people that have doubts about whether or not you should make a YouTube channel, if you're gonna be in this for the money, then unless you really put in the time and effort and make great quality content, you won't go far. There are some people here that solely come to YouTube to make a channel and to make money. And some people deserve it. Like, they put in the work to do it, even though their intentions are not entirely pure. That's only short term. Eventually the momentum wears off, or they run out of ideas, or they're at a plateau. So those that are really passionate about this, that will prevail over everything. Oh, I got this on my eye. I smeared it on this eye too. What is with me today? I mean, I smear it every day, but like today it was really bad. Do you see that? That was a big glob too, so it's gonna take forever to dry until I can wipe it away. This just went from a summer look to a vampy look. Maybe this isn't appropriate. Let's look at options. I don't know. I'm not a nude type of person. Like, I like a bold lip. A lot of the times when I'm doing looks, I just put on lashes and then I stop filming, I do my thumbnail, and then I rip them right off. To the people that wear lashes like all day, do you reapply it during the day? Because I don't think I could get it to last more than 5 hours. So like, how does a work day go? Like, if you have to reapply multiple times a day or even once a day, it just seems like a lot of work for minimal payoff. Okay, I think this goes a lot better because it's in the brown reddish family. Okay, so that is it for this video. Let me know if you enjoyed these more laid back type of settings, or if you want me to just stick to doing tutorials and explaining the process throughout the way. I'm probably gonna throw in a couple of get ready with me's every once in a while. I can't promise that this will never happen again. Hopefully you enjoyed getting to know me a little bit better and having a change of pace overall, since I really don't often sit back and talk too much. So yeah, that is it. Please let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!